What is up with it? And welcome to our second week of Gopherwatch League games. Tonight we've got a real rivalry match here. We got the Unicorns versus the Seekers. I don't know if you guys have noticed in the Discord server, which you all should join if you're not in it. But the Unicorns and Seekers players, specifically ROR and Mikey and Purple Jesus, have been throwing some spice. So this is going to be a hype game tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just looking at the teams, the higher players are the ones talking the most trash, so always leads to some excitement. But look at some of the smaller unknown players, I guess, in this lobby could definitely make the big difference. Shifty, Season 1 MVP runner-up, and Whalefish, robbed of a Grand Finals MVP, in my opinion, after that performance you put on. So, I mean, I'm excited to see Whalefish versus Mikey, actually. That's going to be my understory here, because that's the BBQ DPS line going at it, so I'm kind of excited for that, to be honest with you, and I think we're ready to head into Oasis.
Yeah. Oasis. Very even map pick here, I think. How do you think these teams are going to take it?
I think we have a favorable composition, actually, for the on University starting off here. So the composition I like here is the Brawl. I know that's where Purple Jesus can come in, and I mean, Roar is a good main tank in his own right, but more or less for that Ball and Winston. So the Reinhardt play leaves sometimes something to be desired. So that's where I favor the tank line coming up of the USSR Unicorns. But you do have Mikey and Panda Bro on DPS, so some difference makers there perhaps. But Whalefish, not one to slack there, selecting that Hanzo. A carry player in his own right, so we're all talking about the Roar and the Mikey versus Purple Jesus, but there's so many other names and storylines here in this game that I'm looking forward to watching actually play out finally after all this time. We've waited a long 2 weeks, Ox, for this one to come out, so
Yeah, for sure.
we even had to change the schedule for this one, a little bit of a leak, but these teams initially didn't face off, but they demanded to face each other, so we made some change in the schedule just to get them to face off.
Yeah. Pusheen is rolling out here on the Brig instead of Lucio, so that slight difference in tempo could make a big difference here. So Purple Jesus is on the objective already, just getting forced out by the front line. Roar on the Reinhardt, playing the corner really well here. Oh, and a flashbang onto Shaftek. Cut down by Purple Jesus, taking down 2 as well. 3 for Purple Jesus right off the bat. Mikey does trade him out, so he's gonna be feeling good about himself. But a nice first fight for the Unicorns here.
Yeah, really good first fight from the Unicorns there. You see Purple Jesus with Ori, 70% of the Shatter, not having that Lucio speed boost or that Symmetra damage, but feeling a lot more confident, seeing him just taking that space very early. I'm guessing the Baptiste healing from Viralden was a little more sustainable there than perhaps Kerbology on the Ana, so I like that aggressive play. He had Whalefish and a bit of an off angle, or building up over 40% of that Dragon strike very early. Okay, so we did have a bit of a pause because of some ping issues, so it appears that that seems to have been worked out. Perhaps that could have affected the first fight, as Kerbology wasn't actually there. I didn't notice they have a 0 healing and 0 anything, so they did not even come to that fight. That's probably why Purple G was able to push forward so aggressively, because the enemy Reinhardt was literally not getting any main heals.
Yeah, that would definitely be a big difference maker there. And that's going to hurt a little bit, because even in a losing fight, you really expect your Ana to be building up a lot of ult charge towards that nano boost, but because they weren't there, they couldn't do that. Both teams rolling out here. Purple Jesus playing aggressive at the corner, a little bit more aggressive than ROR was in the last fight. And Whalefish manages to find a nice opening pick here. Mikey going for an off angle on the Hanzo, but his team is kind of backed out here. Not a lot of coordinated aggression as Mikey falls as well, and it's a big shatter from Purple Jesus. That's gonna be it.
Yeah, I mean, there you have it. That's the advantage of this Brig composition against the Lucio, perhaps, when you can hold that defensive position. You saw pushing so far up there. They had the shield right for the bash on the enemy Ryan. Didn't quite hit it, but you don't need to really engage as much as a defense. You can just sit there and let Whalefish spam through him. Got those 2 picks early. We're about to fight back in their favor. Has Dragon here. Expect a window early.
Yeah, window early, just trying to spam through, break resources, maybe get a lucky pick off if they can. Oh, and that's 2 massive ones. Both main DPS and main healer out of the fight. Purple Jesus pushing forward so aggressively. He knows he's got the support with him. And that's 3 clean fights in a row, and this round is almost over.
Yeah, that was a really unfortunate shatter from Roar there. Kind of a desperation move, but you still have one fight left, so you probably would have gone with that one back. But that comes back to that nice winner from Viralde, locks down that choke. Purple Jesus chucks that Flame Strike through and gets Shaft Tech to like 1 HP before the fight even begins. So Rosaria has to use her cooldowns before the fight even starts. So looking pretty good here. Look as aggressive High Noon already out, and they lose Mikey early.
Yeah, another early pick there from a high damage ultimate, finding Gosik as well is Sick Buckle, and now Purple Jesus back on the front line, is pinned by ROR, but it's too little too late. I mean, the picks are just coming through. Graviton Surge is just the icing on the cake, as this clock is going to tick up, and I think round one's going to go to the Unicorns.
Yeah, very strong performance coming out there, especially from Whalefish and Purple Jesus, the two highest of this team. But a very solid run from everybody all around on the USSR Unicorns. I mean, sadly, Speedy couldn't even really do too much. He only built one Graviton Surge, but it wasn't even needed because the team was just popping off regardless. I need to see something a little more coming out here from the DPS of the Singapore Seekers, especially the supports are gonna have a rough time here with Sick Buckle and Whalefish just spamming through the chokes with those DPS selections, and especially even keeping up with the Baptiste heals. I want to see them most play a little faster here because you're not going to win a sustained battle against a Baptiste, so you got to go in there and force those cooldowns early. And it appears Whalefish is taking on the duel with Mikey, and we're seeing almost mirror compositions, a dive style with the Echo. Pretty interesting here. I do favor this ball in this position, though. There's a lot more high ground to just roll through and take advantage of here than Purple Juice and the Winston.
Yeah, Purple just taking space very aggressively, but ROR is on the opposite side of the map, looking to engage on the backline, slam in onto the Ana, but there's not very much follow-up right now. It is going to force some cooldowns, and they can look to set up for another engage as ROR is going for it again, messing up the rollout a little bit, and this is just giving a lot of time for Purple Jesus to find some poke, maybe set up for his own engage. Bubble out, forced, but Purple Jesus caught out without that leap available. And with no main tank, Mikey is kind of free to roam this, taking out Whalefish, taking out Viralidane as well.
Yeah, I mean, you saw there a big anti-nade coming out from Ghostik on the backline of the USSR Unicorns. That was kind of Roar's go button right there. Jesus going a little too aggressive for my liking there, out of the sight lines of his Ana, because he really only had the Ana healing to keep you up here with the Viralidane on the Mercy with the Whalefish on the Echo. So you gotta keep in line of sight of your Ana. Stayed a little on the low ground a little too long, and give high ground control to Roar. So, pretty stellar fight coming out here. You'll have Nano here. Probably going to put down the Roar as he goes in here for this rollout.
Shaftek is pushing really aggressively, though. Doesn't have the bubble and is punished by Sick Buckle, who is on the Soldier 76. Purple Jesus taking a lot of point presence, but he's really split from his team right now. Jumping high ground, doesn't have any more cooldowns, and Mikey's going in for the punish. The engage comes in for the rest of the team, though. Pushin does manage to take out Panda Bro, and Viralidane is there with the res. So it's a bit of a sloppy fight from the dive of the Unicorns, but they managed to make it work.
Yeah, very sloppy, like you said. Maybe trying to build up the Nano Boost a little earlier. Maybe thought they had it when they didn't quite, because Roar goes in very aggressively. Shaft Tech up there as well. Has no way to get out with no bubble. And they're going to stagger out Shaft Tech here if he's not careful. They might go down early here. Yeah, this could be a devastating move. Speed's a little out of position, though. Perhaps going a little bit too low and loses the mech. So that's a good start here as Roar falls up.
Yeah, very nice rotation out of the spawn side to just support Shaft Tech as they're backing up. Make sure they don't get staggered. Engage here now from ROR on the high ground. Sick Buckle taken out from that nice coordination from Mikey on the Echo, and the Graviton Surge is going to be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have Whalefish just stalling a little bit here on the point, but this fight's already over. A huge play from Shaft Check just to stay alive from that dive from Speedy. Going a little too aggressive there with no backup. Is Speedy losing that mech, losing that fight basically right there and there. But you did force out the Graviton Surge there, so you won't have that coming up here. But the duplicate will be huge for Mikey. Probably looking to get on Speedy or Purple Jesus. Either tank would be a good selection, but a lot of ults to use for the USSR Unicorns coming in here. I would expect to see perhaps a Nano Visor or a Nano Purple Jesus in the back of the Primal.
Yeah, all eyes are here on that main tank and those ultimates that Mikey pseudo main tank on the Echo. Purple Jesus going in. Does not have the Nano Boost, in fact, goes onto Sick Buckle, who pops the visor, taking out 3, it's massive. Mikey before he can use the copy as well. So it's a very clean fight for the Unicorns here. ROR is doing a nice bit of stall, but they're going to have to back out. They did manage to keep a couple ults, though.
Yeah, very clean. 3 ults. They force out the High Noon out from Panda Bro. And, I mean, the Tactical Advisor was all they really needed. Pro Jesus didn't need that Nano. Had that Primal Rage to keep himself alive in the back as he dives the supports very hard, which worked out very well with that Primal. Got 3 kills out the back of that. So Mikey will have the duplicate coming up here, but really nothing else to use on their side. And you have the bomb from Speed to make some space perhaps when that Echo comes in for the dive.
Yeah, Mikey popping the coffee, going in super deep off the back of an engage from RR, but he's taken out so quickly by the counter engage from Purple Jesus. Just bubbled off, no heals available at all. Bomb now on point by Speedy, just trying to zone if he can, but Panda Bro is here on the point, and he's getting some eliminations. That McCree is really scary in these mid fights, as well as Shaftek's high charge Zarya. Resurrect is on Purple Jesus, now on the backline. Kerbology possibly getting taken out, but it's not enough here as the Seekers managed to get the W.
Yeah, they get a W on that point, and I mean, that was very interesting. They shouldn't have lost that fight, the Unicorns, because, yeah, Mikey going in very aggressively, losing that duplicate mech basically instantly, and getting out and get body blocked as well, so Mikey's out of the fight. I do not know why you look for that bomb there when you could have had it to remech. It's last fight territory, you need to stall on that point. You had no other ults to use, so kind of an odd time to use that bomb. Didn't find the VAD looking for, and Pendabro able to pop off, get some kills at the end there with that no defensive matrix to worry about. So now, at this point here, kind of both compositions yet again working, but I do, in fact, favor the dive of the USSR Unicorns here because the Winston can take that high ground control a little easier than the ball can. And I mean, just the whole team can as well with the Zarya and the Cassidy. It's going to be very hard in order to push up there and take that space, but Roar is ready for the rollout, looking to slam in on the dive.
Yeah, Purple Jesus getting forced off the high ground very quickly though by that pocketed Echo. Speedy as well taking a ton of damage and already getting taken out of mech. Whalefish though does manage to find a trade onto Mikey and taking out the flying duo entirely on his own. Moved off the map though somehow? Harawar off the map as well?
I don't know what just happened.
Shaftek is on Viralidane though, and it's just the Zarya versus the Winston in the break here. Purple Jesus does have the healing though, and it's a pretty massive advantage for him.
I mean, yeah, like you said, Whalefish, the anti-air artillery and the Tracer taking out the Echo Mercy just by himself right there. A huge play to open up for the team has looked a little desperate there. Roar joined at the map. Definitely helped, but Mikey has a turn, so it's not over just as of yet, but this point is very stallable.
Yeah, Mikey taking out 2 is... That's probably just going to be it for the US Unicorns. They're going to lose this fight almost for sure. They can get the stall though. Speedy just dancing in and out of the inside area on point. Whalefish as well is back in the fight. And Sickbuckle did manage to take out Kerbology. So if they can keep this up, keep on chipping away at the living people for the Seekers here, they might be able to just win the fight entirely. Purple Jesus back now, taking out Shaftek. And Viralidane has some heals. So Purple Jesus, if he stays on his side of the point, this stall could go on until 99.
I mean, this point is so easy to stall, especially these sightlines here. Pro G is going to have the Primal Rage as well to keep himself even more healthy here. Sleep finds nothing from Ghosty, because now Ghosty's going for a ride back towards his own spawn. And somehow they brought this back. This stall has been huge coming out from the Unicorns, and I don't know how they did it, but Mikey might duplicate here to take it back, but I think they're giving it up.
Yeah, Panda Bro used High Noon trying to save the Primal Rage, but it didn't manage to work out, and these late staggers are not a great look for the Seekers here. As I say that though, RR and Mikey combined together to get a nice engage onto the backline. No supports available for the Unicorn, so this is their shot to really flip this point, as with no sustain, it's really, really hard to stall.
Yeah, like I said, very little sustain, but there's still somebody on the point, still staggering. This is still that same fight, by the way, that started out the map, and it's 80% already for the Unicorns, and they're still fighting this off. They're still perhaps getting some picks. Yeah, Kerbology goes down, and they're still just swinging around, getting some damage, and it's finally going to be over. But that all comes back to Sickbuckle taking themselves out in that fight. They get the pick, but then they kill themselves, I think, with the Helix Rock, because not able to get, you know, that more sustained value of the legs running around a point. But it is 87%, so basically last fight, and you have Nanovisor, Bomb, Pulse, Rally. You have a lot to use on both sides here. I'm looking for perhaps... Oh, that's a huge pick. There's no grab in the fight anymore!
Yeah, massive opener from Whalefish, and now Purple Jesus is taking that as his go button. He's forced Ghosseek into the backline of his own team, so that Ana completely out of position, and a super easy cleanup kill for that. Winston there, nano boost onto Purple Jesus as well as he's going in, but can only find the ball here. But Sickbuckle has taken the high ground, and he's got the visor. So that huge ult bank you're talking about just completely coming in effect for the Unicorns, because they had the people alive. They got the first pick.
Oh my. Sick Buckle just absolutely ruined Mikey in the duplicate form there, and Cheftek dies again with the Graviton Surge. This last fight territory, very desperate. You do have to perhaps a nano Mikey into this grab, but against going to be very desperate touches here, and Purple Jesus has the Primal to stall.
Yeah, Shaftek though, that grab, as you said, could come in huge here. Panda Bro just taking the nano boost, but he's so sturdy, especially with the pocket of Kerbology, that they can't take him out even with Purple Jesus' Primal Rage. Shaftek still has his grab late. If they can manage to find their way onto point, it's waiting. It's a massive three-person grab on point. Mikey back on the Tracer. This tank DPS carry combo is looking to make things happen at the very end here, but Purple Jesus squishes Mikey with the fist, and it's not going to be enough.
That was legitimately a very unlucky grab from Shaftek. It was a big one, got 3 members, but Purple Jesus' bubble was like a pixel perfect placement to keep the team alive and that not allow the Mikey damage to come through, basically blocking off all that Tracer spam coming into that Graviton Surge. And, you know, I favored the Singapore Seekers on this map specifically, but the fact that the USSR Unicorns showed a different look than their Brawl is looking very good on this dive leads me to believe we're in for a much closer series than I initially imagined here. And, I mean, they managed to shut down Roar and Mikey very effectively. Sick Buckle, especially on this legs, was putting in some work.
Yeah, for sure, but there's definitely some credence to both sides. You know, the smack talk they put out there before the match, both teams are showing some good stuff, so definitely a close game is looking like to be. But it's the Seekers map pick here. They did seem to favor that dive composition, as you said, but they did lose out on what's it called, on City Center in the dive mirror. Do you think they're gonna try and stick with that, or do you think they're gonna try and shake things up a little bit?
I mean, I think you go probably King's Row here. I mean, King's Row can work for both the Reinhardt and the ball compositions, but I think just Mikey on that, perhaps that May that he plays for Piece of Pirates could come into play, or just kind of what you're comfortable with. Most teams do scrim King's Row, so it's kind of a comfort pick. But if I'm them, I definitely don't go Nambani after seeing the Unicorns on that dive style with Whalefish on the Tracer and Purple Juice on that Monkey. That's definitely not where I want to go. So I want to maybe see an Eichenwald here. We can see Mikey on the Pharah or Mikey on that Echo without the real hard hit scan and carry. I mean, Stickbuckle's done a very good job so far, but I don't know if they can take down a pocketed Pharah or pocketed Echo on Eichenwald with that middle tower on A. So I'm thinking I would want to go to Eichenwald here if I'm the Seekers, because you can run that ball composition as well. So, but if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, sadly, because we're not affiliated on this channel yet, I would probably have to say that we go to King's Row, but I could be wrong.
King's Row. Definitely a classic, but that Purple Jesus Reinhardt was really scary on that first round.
Oh yeah, I mean, you don't go to King's Row because of the Roar Reinhardt. I'm sorry. I mean, Roar again. I mad respect to the guy, the coach of Pizza Pie, is an absolute 5-head gamer, but his man-on-man ability is very much lacking. And they go to Nambani, and I don't know if I like that pick all that much. I guess you have Roar, Mikey on the dive combo, perhaps a Monkey Winston of their own, but Whalefish and Jesus looked pretty solid on it themselves, so it might be pretty difficult to have this 7 open, but hey, who am I? This the Pizza Pirates coach talking, so you gotta listen.
Yeah. The key difference to me that I can see here is I mean, I am an off-tank player, so really what I noticed in map 1 was Shaftek was basically only playing the Zarya, whereas Speedy was willing to flex onto the D.Va. So I feel like you gotta like find that sweet spot of dive maps, but also where like Zarya happens to be better than D.Va, so it's like kind of divey, but not fully divey, but also not good enough where you can Purple Jesus can play the Reinhardt, right, and carry on that role.
I mean, that again could come back to Eichenwald because the fights happen kind of at a flat area, not too much high ground to take advantage of on most points. You know, you have that castle on B, but Zarya can just charge up there through the stairs and push that D.Va off. So Nambani is a huge point where the high ground control basically wins the map. So I definitely think the Speedy on that D.Va was a great selection on Oasis. I'm guessing it's going to continue here. I mean, maybe Shaftek pulls out the D.Va of their own, but if they stick with a double bubble kind of composition here, I do not favor it on Nambani, but who knows? I mean, I remember Whalefish, especially on this map in the finals of last year, the Wakanda BBQs, was having himself a show. So I also don't think that Veralde knows that they can't pick the side they're on because the the graphics, but whatever. Both teams are going to be ours, so we're hanging in Nimbani, and Nimbani is one of those maps where you either see all 3 points capped in 5 minutes or you see a full hold. So we'll see what we're in for in this one right now.
Yeah. And as you said, like if we think about the mental of the Seekers here, they're already down map 1 and they're on attack here. So if they get full held, this could just be the series over. I mean, that's a lot of mental damage to take.
It could be, and I mean, when you look at both these teams on paper, you would probably heavily favor the Seekers, and most of the time, like 9 times out of 10, you think their roster on paper is better, but everybody on the USSR Unicorns came to play today. Viraldane hitting some fat antis, Sick Buckle on the legs, of course, on Nambani having a show, but Whalefish People Jesus doing their thing, Speedy locking the Diva character, which is always a good sign. And, pushing very solid on that Brigido. We questioned the Brig in that brawl composition, but it worked out really well for Purple Jesus to play aggressively, having that backup. I mean, they're following the lore, I guess, with pushing, sticking with that Reinhardt. But I mean, pushing here on this map is going to be playing with that Ana. I like this pick here, especially. It'll stop that Mikey and Roar dive and allow Purple Jesus to go in because we have a Mercy and Ana on the other side. So Purple Jesus is licking his chops at this dive opportunity.
Yeah. No off tank is definitely going to be really free for Purple Jesus and Whalefish here. And Pandabro on the Soldier 76. Mikey on Echo. So again, they're going for that flyer carry.
I mean, super Monkey Ball is fine if they coordinate his dives, but it doesn't look like you really are. You're doing a split dive, it seems, as with Roar in the backline. Purple Jesus is slept up, so that advantage is gone. And now Mikey's going to dive right down the supports.
Yeah, Mikey finding huge picks onto the backline. That split dive actually ending up working out pretty well for the Seekers here, but in the light fight, it's these kills from the all members of the Unicorn. They're finding something individually. Mikey though doing his best to trade things out, but in the end it's just Rect Cactus and Go Seek on the objective, just dying there to the tanks and the Tracer.
That's that absolute tankiness of the Brigida coming into effect. They're sitting on point, pushing does eventually fall, but they managed to keep that point alive just long enough for the tanks to return and get some picks. And it's a very good split dive, like you said, got the Ana, but at the same time, we had Ghostik pocketing the Ana to keep them alive rather than Mikey falling. If Mikey stays alive in that fight, that's very, very winnable for the Seekers, and a nice sleep on Aurora, especially to start this fight.
Yeah, Aurora taken out immediately. It's going to be really hard for the Seekers to make things work after that. But they're still looking to make things happen. Panda Bro getting pushed out on the high ground. Rect Cactus, though, is there with the pocket. And nice engage from Shaftek, getting some nice split from the bubble, but he is flashed and taken out. So despite their best efforts, their fight without ROR just didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, it really didn't, especially when you just had the Soldier and the Ana on the high ground by themselves with no tank presence. It allows B to go up there and shut down 2 people with 1 D-Matrix. And I don't really know what they're trying to do here. They seem very uncoordinated in these dives. The tanks are not on the same page at all, allowing the Brig and the Ana to stop Roar basically in his tracks and not get anything done. Only 77% to a minefield while both tank ults online for the USSR Unicorns. This ult advantage is pretty heavily in favor of them. I expect them to win this fight yet again.
Bit of a bait dive there from Shaftek, and now he's brawling on the low ground. He managed to find both supports there inside of his bubble, so it's actually massive there from the rookie Winston player. Purple Jesus, though, is still here in the fight. He's got the Primal Rage, trying to force Shaftek into the bomb. Manages to force him to take a ton of damage, but that Primal Rage is going to keep him nice and healthy for a little bit longer. This Primal from Purple Jesus getting so much value, but Mikey and Panda Bro just running circles around him a little bit. And they are getting booped, but they are managing to stay alive, which is really the most important part. And with the spawners coming in here for the Seekers, they'll manage to get onto first and probably get the cap, but it was pretty difficult for them.
It was very difficult. A lot of ults had to be invested there, but you look at the ults invested on the other side. 4 thrown into that lost fight in the defensive A, so not terrible if you are the Singapore Secrets. You can definitely snowball this on Nambani B. You have that Nanovisor to use perhaps to take some space, but it is going to be into a Diva. It's going to be very little harder, and hopefully Shaftek gets out alive with their life here, and they won't, so that's going to be the go button for the Unicorns to push forward.
Yeah, Purple Jesus chasing down Panda Bro on the low ground, but RR is there with the punish, so that main tank being off the field is going to be pretty massive, and because the Seekers have 2, I mean, they can keep on going in. Speedy getting beamed down by Mikey, getting so much damage on this Echo with the pocket from Ghostik. Now looking for more poking. Buckle, though, does manage to take him out.
Yeah, Mike
coming in.
Oh, Mikey good.
Massive flash. ROR punish onto Sickbuck, who went a little too deep there, and now Speedy just got the Glock out front lining on Baby Diva, but Whalefish manages to trade out with Chef Tech, and these trades I think are really going to favor the defense here because of the spawns. Yeah,
I mean,
the Seeker's just getting forced back here.
all they're doing is just sending buys to the point, and they use the nanovisor here to try to get something done. Maybe it will. They find Pushin, so they're out of the fight, but Whalefish is there, putting the damage, and the cleanup is there. So I think it will finally be a one fight in favor of the they use duplicate as well. There's so many else being invested. They mine too.
Yeah, RR investing the minefield, but Roladane just uses nade on herself and slinks out, kind of forcing ROR to chase so deep for it, and Whalefish can get some trades on the other end. Mikey, though, managing to take out Whalefish late. Pandabro with an elimination onto Speedy, and Mikey now pushing the high ground. ROR making the trade happen, and slowly but surely, the Seekers are trading things out here. Purple Jesus with the Primal Rages trying to make his way back to the point so he can stall, but it's just him and Whalefish versus the world. Can they make some clutch magic happen? And no, they cannot.
No, they can't, and that was a great call to use that nanovisor. Down one in that fight, gets pushing out of the fight, get that brig out there. There's a lot of healing already gone for the USSR Unicorns, and the minefield is split out for Eldin from the team. So, a nice coordinated play there coming out from the Singapore Seekers, and you look at the ult bank building up here. There's some swaps coming through from both sides, but pretty major comp swap coming up for the... there's a fight going on, but somehow they found Goseek. Chef Tech, though?
Cheftek going so aggressive, but he's just standing, you know, he has to stay still to make sure he's pummeling into the corner, right? He can't move from there, and because he's just a stagnant monkey target, they just burn him so quickly. The Unicorns are kind of stuck in spawn here, and Speedy's pushed out really aggressively. If the Seekers can get a punish here onto her, oh, but Roar is traded out.
Roar's traded out? Huge visor?
Huge visor from Pendabro, and a nano boost onto Cheftek. He's pushing so aggressively here. Purple Jesus can't do anything about it. He might be the higher ranked main tank, but when he doesn't have the red juice, he can't win the duel.
And I think that was also a pretty huge boot from Roar at the end there. Didn't quite catch it, but it knocked Whalefish off the point, so they couldn't stagger it out any longer. And, I mean, despite the nice early hold on point A, you saw that snowball effect like I was talking about in Nambani coming through yet again. 2 minutes left in the time bank, so... maybe sweat a little bit if you're USSR if you can't match this time bank. It's gonna be very hard for you to actually take a map. Perhaps it's looking very favorable for the Singapore Seekers, but it all comes down to that proactive play. I think on point B when you got those minefields in the back, it allows that nanovisor to push forward, kind of being a little tentative, or going. In fact, some people went a little too aggressive. Some people didn't push up at all for the USSR Unicorns. Probably the exact opposite of what you want to do for any Overwatch team and any Overwatch rank. Half and half split. And now they're going back to Super Monkey Ball, and, you know, I didn't have time to point it out because the fight went on so long, but they were running Rhine Ball at the end there, and they won it out, so lucky for them, too. I think if they lost that fight, running that Rhine Ball probably would have been too good to push it towards the end, but luckily they got out there. That clutch visor from Panda Bro. 2 clutch visors for 2 points for Panda Bro. It's looking pretty good so far, a lot better than Oasis for them so far.
Are
But
my eyes deceiving me?
I think they're not. Roar is locking the... what is this comp?
It's the banana split.
Yes, the banana split, but is it gonna work?
I don't know.
I don't...
Maybe RR is trying to goad Purple Jesus to play the horse character, you know? Some mind games, perhaps, on the field.
Yeah, the God Risa, I suppose, is being challenged, but I think Purple Jesus is looking more for those free dubs from the copy pasta than a one-on-one horse battle.
Completely misspaced by ROR. So maybe not as good as the God Risa.
Yeah, Purple Jesus would hit that.
Yeah. Booped off of his engage, so it didn't end up being as good as he would have hoped, and Pandabro was there with the punish, but Speedy and Whalefish following up on that dive perfectly, finding 2 more, so it's a 4 versus 1 in trades in favor of the offense here. ROR alone on the point. Godrissa used Fortify, is gonna pull them back, but it's not enough.
Alright, if the Singapore Seekers are watching this VOD back, don't do that again. That was awful. That didn't work at all. I don't know what the plan was there, to play as split as possible, touch every single corner of the earth, and watch the dive kill you. It wasn't exactly the best call there. And now do a wholesale swap, just Rhine Ball strategy. Now the high ground's completely gone, completely foregone. for the USSR Unicorns. This could be quite the snowball if they give it a pick or two here. Oh, a stick! Oh my goodness gracious! What is this comp? What are they?
I mean, it looks like the Seekers are just trying to play comfort picks, I guess, and just make things work, but, you know, there's a reason why good compositions are good compositions. Pandabro gonna get staggered very late here, and with how easy it is to take second for the offense, I mean, it's gonna be really hard for the Seekers to manage a hold here.
I mean, they use Pulse Bomb, and you're going to have Bob to stall. You can look for a Nano on Pandabro, maybe, but it's looking pretty rough here with Nanovisor for Slickbuck on the other side. Purple Jesus with that Prime Rage as well. Oh, never mind. Purple Jesus gets absolutely destroyed by Mikey with that pocket. So, I mean, I guess things are looking up here for Singapore as they're ready to engage again.
Yeah, Shaftek and RR. That was a pretty coordinated dive there from them. Bob as well. Speedy's going to get chunked out so hard here on the front line, but they're managing to stay alive, and instead it's Shaftek who went a little too far in, thinking they got the support of the Bob, but actually they flew out of the LOS of their backline. Shaftek taken out by Sickbuckle here, and these offensive spawns are going to come into effect here a little bit with how the trades have been coming in with the timing. Rez, though, onto Shaftek. If they manage to get back into their mech, could be massive here. A slam kill onto Sickbuckle! Yo, he's going crazy.
Yeah, just like you said, Shaftek goes absolutely bonkers on the point there and doesn't allow any point progress being taken with Purple Juice in the background with that Primal Ray trying to knock him around, but nothing gained and everything spent here for the USSR Unicorn. So look at those ults building up for the Singapore Seekers. It's going to be very good for them if they can maybe get Shaftek out alive with the mech.
Yeah, but Shaftek looking so healthy. Got the Soldier 76 with them as well. Engage now off the minefield. Doesn't find a whole lot, but Whalefish is pretty split here. It split. Actually just finds ROR. Bomb engage as well from Speedy. Doesn't manage to find anything, but Rally invested, so that backline is going to be very healthy and pushing super aggressively here. Visor invested as well, but doesn't manage to find anything, and the Unicorns are just going to look to maybe set up, get some staggers here, and try and take second.
Yeah, especially with the Soldier going down there. They can get this on Wreck Cactus. It's definitely over. The Bob will be invested, but Roar is going to get melted on point here. They just have to melt this Bob here quickly, which Sickbuckle will from around the corner, but is anybody going to be able to touch here? Roar might be able to come back. Yes, and they lose Speedy's mech, so not over just as of yet, but Pandabro going down makes it pretty hard. And yeah, it looks to be over here.
Yeah, RR tried to make something happen, but just got immediately liquefied off that slam. So it was a noble attempt by Mikey and RR, but couldn't quite make it happen. Shaftek, what is that bomb? Just going in. Mikey with the follow-up onto Whalefish as well. That's exactly what you need. Last time when the Seekers pushed, they managed to snowball their way through third. And if they stopped it here on their defense.
Yeah, that snowball's already out of the question because you had the Nanovisor, you had the Valkyrie to use. Another Bob building up here. Mikey's building very quickly with that pocket, but Purple G's going very aggressive here. Gets hooked in, but has the primary stay alive, and look at this meat grinder he's making right now.
Oh, ROR pushed onto the low ground completely alone. They're going to focus him so hard, but his team is there. They drop to try and protect him. It's not enough, though. Purple Jesus, Speedy is just chasing. Pandabro is on the flank, running around, popping Visor, just getting completely defense matrix, getting... Oh, manages to find Whalefish before he dies. And Shaftek back on the Reinhardt.
Just dropped out there, Shaftek on the Reinhardt. PJ wakes the Bob with the Tesla cannon, not what you want to see. But yeah, the ults being invested here from the Singapore Seekers stops yet again another push. And every single second is drained out his clock. More ults build up for this comp swap.
Speedy's on payload.
Yeah, they're just gonna ignore them though. Yeah, Pandabro just chilling. This is sad.
DM play. Oh no.
Yeah, this is pretty sad here for Speedy. Don't remech, please just jump off the map. They show mercy and take her out. But you have Whalefish dropping over on the Hanzo's produce on that Reinhardt. So I favor the more composition here of the USSR Unicorns with that Diva to help that Reinhardt in this fight. But let's see what happens because Shaftek has this shadow looking to maybe drop it down a bit of a flank angle here with Pandabro. They're sitting there, they're crawling around, they're crouching.
Yeah, high ground from the Reinhardt, dropping into the corner so aggressively, but just playing safe after that. Backing off, got the shield for the bomb as well. Purple Jesus not able to make anything happen off of that bomb engage, and Shaftek similarly not able to make anything happen off of his shatter. So tank ults traded and not much to say of it. Overall, Whole Hog though used by ROR, and that pin may be a little bit ill-advised from Purple Jesus, just getting pushed back immediately, taking a decent chunk of damage as well.
They find Panda Bro though, so it's not over just yet. Mikey's Bob is gone, so here they come in on flank. Visor from Sickbuckle.
It's a massive flank visor, finding 3 from Sickbuckle. This guy's visors have been crazy, and with how close the card is, they can just stuff these chokes here, and the Seekers might not even get another contest. Panda Bro on the off angle, but just forced to roll away, and no one can touch.
Yeah, I mean, they also had Purple Jesus Shatter, so that fight was basically impossible from the beginning. It would be a very hard challenge to stall this part a little bit longer, but you did drain a lot of time off the bank on point C, though, if you are the Singapore Seekers. And that came down to this weird composition, the hammer and sickle comp, with Mikey on that Ash, building those bombs very quickly with the pocket, able to stagger the card out just enough here. But now can either of these teams' defense be any better than what it was? I don't think it'd be any worse if you're Singapore. I just don't do that again, please, and you'll be just fine. And looking a little more standard there on that dive, but it's gonna be ROR on the Diva, not something we see every day, but could definitely work out. Mikey on that pocket echo. It's gonna be, if Mikey doesn't get picked off early yet again here, it'll be a very solid defense, I believe. It's very hard to knock an echo or a fire off this point, especially when they control the mid area of the point. But I mean, we've seen Sickbuckle work some miracles already so far this game, so it wouldn't surprise me if we see them get both the Echo and Mercy yet again with the legs. Someone who's making quite a revival in the league so far this year.
Yeah, but I mean, as you said, right? Like the banana split comp did not work out at all, and if the Seekers can make this defense work out just a tiny bit better, like win one or two fights, that's just all the time for the Unicorns here. They don't got a lot of it.
I mean, again, it literally can't be any worse. So.
Yeah. Purple Jesus pushing aggressively, but he's getting poked out a lot by Mike here on the Echo. The more time they take for the engage, the less engages they'll get. Purple Jesus slept up immediately, and it's a nice counter engage from Shaftek as well. Winston just tickling each other on the objective, but Pushin is there and dies with him, unfortunately. Speedy does manage to trade out Purple Jesus, but Mikey is just going massive here on the Echo. Whalefish, though, managing to take him out. So looking really nice for the Unicorns here late in the fight.
Okay, Singapore's do a lot of trolling here. They're down 3 already because they pushed too far. Now Purple Jesus is back. This fight's not nearly over this point. Might just flip for them in their favor despite the early picks.
Yeah, ROR though managing to get some nice peel there on the Diva. Does trade his life for it, and Shaftek has the nano boost, so could stall things out, but is taken out right before he can get that primal rage. Mikey here posted on the high ground, just gonna have to back out as the trades are too much for him to handle.
I mean, Shaftek gets that nano boost, but because of the presence of Purple Jesus and Whalefish in the backline, RR has to back up to peel for the Ana for Wreck Cactus. So no follow for Shaftek, dives in alone and gets just melted and has to leave. Comes back to the point with no HP to speak of. And that was a big misplay, going so aggressive there into the spawn of the enemy team. When you had the picks, you had no mech, you just let that wait out and drain the time out the bank. And now look at ults you fed as well by just lumping your buys on the point. Yeah, they have Visor, they have Pulse, and a Primal for stall. This could be a point be captured if you're not careful enough here for the Seekers. Oh, that stick is huge!
Yeah, Shaftek Dragon be so low, and look at Sickbuckle. He's on the flank. Look, he's gonna pop Visor so soon. He's been so clutch with these in these late fights. Panda Bro taking out Purple Jesus off the back of the Visor, manages to find a Primal Rage kill. Whalefish with one on to go seek as well. Bombs being traded out on the objective. Mikey could come up huge here, and he does. Manages to take out Speedy. He does lose his copy form, but he's still got the normal Echo form as well, and he combines with Shaftek to force all of the Unicorns off the point.
There was a lot of bombs right there that just dropped, but Mikey had the biggest one at the end of the day with that 2K, and yeah, I think put it basically perfectly in the chat. Mutually assured destruction just got thrown out there in this match. But I mean, if you're the USSR Unicorns, that's not a very bad push for basically 1 man in the time bank. You take advantage of that misplay and basically make it a halfway towards B offense. So you can definitely win this here for them. With 2 minutes in the bank, you had 1 or 2 fights here, and it's definitely over. And you can go 2-0 so just a match point. But the ROR Diva looked good for the peel, but not the best for clean engages with Shaft Tech. So maybe there's a little lack of communication here. But hopefully that picks up here for the Seekers on this point, because if they don't, they'll be staring down match point and Purple Jesus having bragging rights for the rest of the season.
Yeah. I mean, ROR and Chef Tech didn't seem like they were super coordinated even when they were running the Super Monkey Ball. So I would wager it's probably a bit of a communication issue for the tank line of the Seekers here. And I mean, last time on their offense, it took them 3 minutes to get first. So they don't have that much time this time. So, hopefully whatever they figured out last time, they can bring with them.
I will say they were coordinated on one tank line. That was the banana split, because when Roar did not hit that pole, we saw Chef Tech back up. So that was the time. That was probably the most coordination we've seen out of these two so far. But hopefully they pick it up here. Roar looking to get that high ground advantage right away. Oh my god! Just shredded.
Bit of a, showing some lack of comfort on the Diva character there. Cheftek knows they have to just go in without him. Speedy though managing to get traded out off that DPS damage from Wreck Cactus, and some engages being traded here, but Purple Jesus is the one who comes out on top. Does die for it, but taking out that Mercy is massive there. Speedy cleared out of the point, and Mikey is taking a nice off angle here. Bushin getting cut down, and in fact, it's Shaftek and Mikey are combining together really well here for the offense of the Seekers.
That was, again, like you said, Roar having a bit of discomfort on the Diva hero, but perhaps a little bit from Speedy as well. I mean, these staggers are coming in, but it's just desperation at this point. Yeah, can't use Primal Rage, it's over right there. But we have Speedy going in against a Pocket Echo all alone and gets just shredded out of their mech. So losing that mech early, it's basically spelled doom for that defense, especially when the res came through. Or when that Roar got the mech back. So now it's basically one fight territory here, but you have a couple ults to use if you are the Seekers and the Unicorns. It really just comes down to execution at this point, because both teams have advantages and fight winners on both sides. So, I mean, Shaftek needs to get out here with his life. I'm going to say that right now, though.
Yeah, Shaftek forced to use the bubble so early, and it's going to be really hard for them to find an engage in that time. Like, if they use that bubble for an engage, they would have another fight here, but now with only 30 seconds on the clock, it's Whalefish instead who's coming up with the goods. Panda Bro taken out, Speedy alone on the objective, and Pushin taken out by Mikey, but another visor from Sick Buckle taking out the Mercy. Backline completely gone for the Seekers, so they're really playing to either win now or wait for their spawns to come into effect. Mikey with the copy visor as well from Panda Bro, so they got double aim lock for the DPS line. You couldn't ask for more, honestly, from a DPS line. And with those two ultimates in combination, they just clean up everybody. Whalefish, a bit of a desperation, but that's going to be it.
Yeah, that was a nice clutch play coming from Mikey there at the end, but also Speedy going a little bit aggressive on the cart. Did have the Tracer backup, but didn't have the sightline of the Rana, so couldn't get healed up. Losing that mech allows that double visor to pop off the double aim lock. There is absolutely zero D-Matrix to stop this. And here's that bomb from Mikey, showing that expertise on a Diva character, tactically driving into the cart to get the Jets to be in the right spot. But yeah,
I standing in front of the other bomb as well.
To lose the D-Mac or lose the baby Diva duplicate form, actually just a 5-head play from Mikey, expected from our Season 3 MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-1 here, and that was very close on both sides, so I don't know where exactly the Unicorns take us here. Maybe take us to Dorado, or maybe a Route 66 to play the God Reset, but do you want to take Mikey to Route 66 is the question. I wouldn't, so just about anywhere else would work fine for just me, but yeah, I want to point out there at the end, I thought it was won by the Unicorns because Panda Bro got caught out on a flank by Whalefish and taken out, so, down, pick your dog Risa map, yeah, okay. So down 1, the Unicorns push their advantage, but the Seekers staying live on point with that Nano Boost onto Shaftek in the back line. Definitely worked out for them in their favor, and they take the map there at the end. So
yeah, I will say if you're the Unicorns, with how close it was on the Seekers map pick, you gotta be feeling pretty confident. I think they know they got the Reinhardt in the back pocket. They can probably go to Rialto maybe to play some Reinhardt, force the Seekers off of that. Well, probably not force them off the dive, but just make it so the dive is a little less effective.
if you can force him on a banana split, you've won you've won the match. I
You know
don't.
what map is really good for banana split?
Hmm.
Eichenwald.
I
Maybe
can,
it was a good thing the Seekers didn't go to Eichenwald
they,
map 2. They
they,
would have played banana split the whole time.
it was less than inspirational from what I saw there. I don't think I'll be pulling out my rank games anytime soon, but we have a sub in here as well. We have Nuttier coming for speed. That leads me to believe we do scrim the Hydro homies do scrim the Unicorns with Tide Time. That leads me to believe Double Shields coming out here, and yep, it's Junkertown. So I didn't even think of Junkertown actually at this point, but Junkertown's a great map because you're going against you have Whalefish on your team who's a great sniper. You know, kind of a slept on Widow to be honest with you. Always seem to pop off. Definitely gives Elliot some trouble in our scrims, and there's really no like hardcore hit scam player for the Seekers. So if you can take advantage of those long sight lines with the Hanzo, with the Widowmaker, you're setting yourself up pretty good for a nice, easy map win here, perhaps. But yeah, I don't know. Does Roar pull out the Orisa as well? But he seems to be playing that ball, and ball's also decent on Junkertown to close those sight lines, to close that distance quickly. But I don't see Mikey being able to really play a comfort pick here. You know, being the Echo, being the Tracer, it's gonna be a little rough on Junkertown. Has to do something else, perhaps in Hanzo.
Yeah. I will. It's gonna be a little tough for Mikey for sure. Just, I think, I think he's always worked it out to be like he plays the Flyers because it's like easy to carry in like a 3K average lobby. That's why he likes playing them. So he's gonna have to step out of his comfort zone a little bit, but it will be a pretty, I think, interesting setup here because like a Wreck Cactus actually being subbed in. I like the DPS are so important on Junkertown, and I think Whalefish, Stickbuckle, Mikey, and like all the DPS in this game have been playing really well. So definitely be a super fun map to watch here. Even more swaps going in. Panda being swapped in for Goseek, so the captain swapping himself out. Bit of an interesting play, maybe.
Yeah, that leads me to believe that we're seeing we're definitely seeing the Ana here from Panda Bros. Who I know them for playing Kerbology. You know, maybe that Brigida, maybe that Lucio. Not exactly sure what they're going to run here because we have not seen the Seekers have to go out of that comfort zone just as of yet. Maybe Go Seek just saying let's get everybody some playing time here. Well, we will defend, and there are no side swaps. There are no
Kerbology definitely I think played mostly
there
Mercy
are
this
no
series.
side swaps in Gopherwatch League.
Wow. Just whoever egos the other captain and gets lobby ownership is the one who decides the sides.
No, it's a
Oh wait, no.
higher seeds on left side. Always
Oh,
higher
higher
seed
seed.
gets the defender's advantage. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what we're gonna see. I'm thinking we're definitely seeing a double shield from the USSR Unicorns. I would put my firstborn son on it, and for the Seekers, I wouldn't even bet some pennies. Like I do not know what they're gonna do. I'm completely lost here.
You know what I could see? With Shaftek playing so much main tank in Numbani, ROR could just play Roadhog again and maybe force Shaftek onto the Ursa.
I mean, do we? I mean, yeah, maybe calling like a hog Zarya composition perhaps, because Shavtek was showing some cover on the Zarya as well, but they're still doing some Super Monkey Ball and Mikey on the Genji. I'm thinking these are some swaps here because they're still in spawn on their defense. I do like the Zenyatta swap though, actually from pushing here rather than playing the Brigida. That Discord orb is great, especially for Purple Juice and Nuttier to spam him down and get some long range kills. Pushing has impressed me on the Zenyatta as well in our scrims, so they're seeming a lot more comfortable on that pick there. But it looks like they're not swapping. They're sticking with this.
I actually really like this. If like this is a hard call out from Mikey, knowing that like Genji has an amazing matchup into both Zen and the Hanzo there, and he's like carry on that Genji, right? So I think he can definitely make some magic happen here, despite it not being Genji's best map. He's got the really nice character matchups.
Yeah, it's just can they close these sight lines? Can they close this distance long enough? But Roar, the nice boop off, is definitely going to help that out.
Yeah, Shaftek as well going in deep, and there it is. Mikey immediately finding a pick onto Whalefish. ROR taking out Nuttier with the boop as well. And like the horses are just on the run. The unicorns.
Yeah, the horse of the horse is on the run, and that was a great set play coming out from the Singapore Seekers there. Roar, Yunat, Boop, Shaftek, and Mikey did a follow up as well. So a huge play coming from them, not allowing the spam to even do anything in the first fight. I would like to see maybe Sickbuckle go perhaps an Ash here, just have a little more sustainability for themselves, able to coach gun away from the dive, but there might be one more fight there, especially with Shaftek going down. If they can touch the point, they got to get the point though. They're just sitting there. Okay, Wilfish touches.
Yeah, Whalefish on the objective. Reladin as well with the lamp. But Nuttier getting purpled could get cut down here. It's Whalefish though finding Panda Bro. And with that lack of sustain, it's going to be really scrappy this fight. Mikey, he's the carry. He's got to make something happen. Kerbology flashed out of the res. So unfortunate. And taken out. So no supports on the side of the Seekers here. But Minefield from RR is massive at the very end. That horse so static can't escape from the mines.
Please stop shooting the ball. When the Genji's on point with no healing, please stop shooting the ball. You're not gonna kill him. It allows the blade to get off there, and they didn't even have to nano to get 2 kills or get a kill out of it and roar with the minefield. Shaftek again gets taken out early, but Shaftek is just a sacrificial lamb, it seems, for this dive to work, and here comes Roar to follow up on the corpse. I mean, you have Window, you have Dragons. A sustained can't happen, but Rat Cactus is in the back line looking to put some damage in.
Bubble Nano Gauge as well onto Shaftek here, punching Whalefish. Mikey there with the follow-up as well. Dash through 2. Massive engage. They've really cleaned up their coordination with the Super Monkey Ball composition. Have the Seekers here, and they're just snowballing through all of Junkertown here on a pretty unconventional comp.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to coordinate the dive when Shaftek says, "Please slam my corpse. I've got I've ate every cooldown for you. Please, I've done my job." But I mean, this is exactly what Shaftek has to do in this composition. Just has to go and beat that sacrificial lamb. So doing that job, eating the hook, eating the bash, eating the flash, doing everything you need to do, and that's already point B captured. And yeah, it's looking pretty rough here. You have a lot of ults to use if you are the USSR Unicorns, but you gotta stabilize here. It's looking kind of rough. A big slam from Rory.
Yeah, that was just undeniably a really nice engage, but the ultimate's coming in for the side of the Unicorns here. Mikey and Pandabro, though, managing to get some really nice follow-up, and that blade late from Mikey. He's building them up so fast here. Valk is well invested, maybe a little bit celebratory from Kerbology. Purple Jesus stalling the payload very well, but just only it's pennies to, I mean, they invested so much in that fight and they still lost.
Yeah, it's a Whalefish swaps to the Torbjorn to shut down this perhaps a little bit easier. Sickbuckle's still on that Cassidy. I mean, I have not seen a flashbang hit, so it's rough. This dive is too coordinated because, I mean, there's too many targets to flash almost for Sickbuckle. Doesn't know who to chuck it at. I mean, you had the pulse bomb. They're going to engage with the rally, though. A nice engage in the window there to clean up, get Panda Bro. So perhaps a one fight here if they can get one more.
Yeah, rally is also from Pushin, so without that blade, it's going to be really hard for Mikey to clutch things out here in this fight. Nuttier finding Kerbology, Virelidane taking out ROR, and with those late picks, going to be it here. But, I mean, that was the full ult bank for the side of the Unicorns.
I mean, similar thing for the Seekers as well. They invested a lot there. They're going to swap over down the Cassidy. They're going to get out the Tracer. A lot harder to play Tracer when the Torbjorn gets leapt out here, so now they're going to let Mikey take all the turret damage, I guess. And Purple Jesus up on that windmill, looking to get something done. They do have the whole hog. They do have the Supercharger, so Supercharger can win a fight just by itself here. I look to see that coming down early.
RR with an engage onto Purple Jesus. The Seekers have all this great high ground control here. I mean, look at how healthy they are, except for RR, but he's going to get healed up so quickly, and they can just go into the backline once again. Bongo invested by Purple Jesus.
Oh, nice pull.
Oh, and it's a massive, yeah. Wreck Cactus does manage to trade out Sickbuckle, looking for a little bit more, but Whalefish there with the dinks on the Torbjorn. And the Unicorns can start looking to hold up here.
And yeah, Purple Jesus there with 2 clutch single pulls. You know, with a reset, a lot of people try to get a big clump, but Purple Jesus gets the Wrecking Ball back to point, who is very weak, takes out that Wrecking Ball presence, and then at the end there staggers Mikey the pull. So the God Risa on display here. Mikey has Nano Blade though, so perhaps I want to see a Whalefish throw down that Molten Core when that blade gets engaged, so they can't really, you know, go wherever they want for that. I also want to see Nuttier set up on the high ground and control that from the tank lines with just a hog presence, but Sickbuckle with the Cassidy Flash will find Shaftek. But here comes a Nano Blade.
Oh, whole hog invested by Nuttier. Mikey struggling to get some value, but manages to slice Pushin with the very tip of the blade, and that gives him the resets he needs to just hard pop in that fight. It's the desperation mode for the unicorns here. They're making some swaps. Whalefish on the Doomfist. They just gotta get the touch at all whatsoever. Whalefish purple though, and he gets cut down so quickly by that High Noon. Pusheen throwing themselves into the minefield to touch, but they just can't make it.
Okay, so what you want to do there when you know they have Nano Blade is not clump up like 6 like the the unicorns just did, where they all filed together the safety circle. Not exactly what you want to pull out there. I mean, you got the flash and the whole hog comes up, but Mikey is deflexed away, so nothing really stopping that Nano Blade from coming through. And that's a very fast attack there for Junkertown from the Singapore Seekers, playing that composition that. You know, I questioned at first because I was like, how are you going to close these sight lines? How are you going to close this distance? Well, for some reason, the USSR Unicorns played this composition like it was Brawl, and they were sitting in their face the entire time. So the Dai wasn't really have to use their cooldowns to get in it to engage. And, I mean, a good execution based off the play of the USSR Unicorns by the Seekers there. And a swap to, I think, probably just a spawn camp strategy here to take some time off the clock. And I don't know. I think I want to see Nuttier play Sigma instead of the Hog. I did not see too much value come out from that pick. I think the Sigma would just be better to stop this dive in its track. You know, you have the whole Hog, you got the hook from the Hog to stop one dive target, but the Sigma has puts out the spam, has that shield for the peel, it has the eat.
RR's not ready. Sorry.
No,
no, like they're just not holding close. RR's creeping up. Okay, there they go.
There they go. They're waiting for the final stick and not giving me sound cues.
Ah, I see.
But instead, they all walk out single file line like kindergartners, hand in hand, and let the unicorns know they're coming, so they know the spawn camp is there. Whalefish already finds Panda Bro with an early pick, so the spawn camp's already done.
Yeah, they're trying to back out. Mikey getting caught late, and I mean, Shaftech looking like they want to touch here. Not really sure what.
I don't think they should. They should run away.
I mean, if they're gonna touch, they gotta touch.
They gotta touch the cart. They're just walking backwards. Okay, they get they need to go. They need to charge out. They need to go.
Where's Kabbal's going? Oh my God! They have no fear of the mercy, going in for a crazy res, possibly. But Mikey's now back on the Widowmaker. Wreck Cactus did find a trade there, so they are managing to stabilize a little bit. But Mikey getting a bit of hit scan diff there from Whalefish, and some nice cleanup kills here. Mikey res back in the fight. He's gonna need to like kill 6 people, and it's I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen there with the horse shield.
Strange, the Echo pocket of one trick can't outdo a Whalefish on the Widowmaker to start off that point. And that all starts with Whalefish finding that early pick on the Panda Bro as well, stopping that spawn camp right in his tracks. Now here goes a Super Monkey Ball, not Monkey Ball Torture, that's the wrong name for it. Red Cactus does have the Dragons here, but another pull hook. They're finally getting this combo down here for the tank line. Nuttier looking a lot better on the Hog here on the attack, and 2 picks early. That's going to basically be another fight victory here as Roar's going to try to stall.
Yeah, I mean, you said monkey ball torture, but I'm not sure that that was an incorrect statement with how and
it's torture for them, yes, it's torture.
Being tortured here.
Self-inflicted torture.
Mikey making the swap.
Oh!
But that tempo bongo is massive. Mikey does manage to trade up Pusheen, but dies for it. Res onto Panda Bro. Valkyrie invested as well. And the purple is massive onto the people in the lamp. Nuttier could fall here. Purple Jesus, though, just an absolute warhorse on the objective. Chasing down Kerbology on the Mercy. Now trying to back out, finding an off angle, pushing back in towards the Mercy, popping the Fortify. He's going so aggressive just for this Mercy elimination. Will he get punished for it? It seems like not, as his team is there to back him up.
They he gets instantly flashed. And yeah, that's a Genji experience if you don't have Nanoblade.
Yeah, Mikey getting hard focused there. He was the only one alive, or not the only one alive there, but with the Nano Boost, he's like kind of expected to pseudo tank there for the team. And I mean, Genji not actually a tank, so he kind of just died.
5 minutes left in the bank and 0 ults because they keep swapping compositions. And I don't know what they're doing because now they have the window, they have the supercharger, they did get rally out, but there's 5 minutes left in time bank. This could be a huge snowball effect if Whalefish finds a headshot to open this up. A huge pull comes in, it's a big pull, but there's nobody headshot from Whalefish, and it's going to start off again. The big slam and engage.
Oh, ROR slamming into 5 people, getting stunned, pulled, booped, stunned again, and taken out immediately. Wreck Cactus, though, does manage to find Virelidane off of it, but, I mean, you can't just a suicide maneuver there from ROR is not what you want to see for one of the highest ranked players on your team.
Yeah, Mikey tries to 1v1 the God Risa with a Fortify, not going to work out. And this cart was moving the whole time, by the way. That whole fight was going on. So it's Orium at the end here. And they didn't use any ults. You still have all your ults. This could be a massive time bank coming out here. I mean, they go for the... We're going for a spawn camp, but they find Kerbology. They lose Whalefish, but not a good trade.
I mean, the Unicorns are feeling themselves. Nutty are just peeking spawn. He's on the Roadhog flanking. He's so close. Pendabro. He doesn't whiff the hook, though, and Pendabro gets the nade punish. But Ana versus Roadhog, not a great duel for the Ana, in fact.
Oh, but his asleep. That's
nice
huge.
Wreck Cactus with a kill onto Purple Jesus. Pendabro going flank with the Ana, finding 2 eliminations into the fight. Coming up huge, showing, you know, he is a DPS player as well. Got the DPS chops even when he's on the Ana. A bit of a deep engage from ROR, but managing to escape with his life, and Mikey with a punish on Whalefish. So the defense has started, and third is kind of hard, so this could be a legendary hold here for the Seekers.
It could be, and you've also forced Whalefish to swap to the Doomfist, gets rid of that Dragon, you get produced to pop that Supercharger, so really no ults to speak of here for the USSR Unicorns to push this through. You have your Nanoblade here, and as well as mines to stall if you need to, but I think this Nanoblade would just be enough, unless Pushi and Sick Buckle can really CC the hell out of Mikey here. I don't see it going well. Here comes the Nanoblade engage.
Nanoblade from Mikey, but stuns were used onto RR, who was kind of slinking around in the backline. They were so worried about the ball behind that they just couldn't turn around and match Mikey in time. So he finds a massive blade.
I want to see this. I want to see the USSR Unicorns push some high ground control here because the dive is just able to drop on them without any cooldowns used. So you gotta go up the stairs. You gotta push forward with your beefy tanks and take this windmill control back from them because you did take out Nanoblade, but they have window. You also have the dragon to stop this push. There's so many ults to use here and so little time for this defense to hold. Oh, the hook combo does work, and they mine, but is it gonna get any value? I don't know. Shaftek just gets melted.
Nice aggressive engage, and I mean the lamp did save the lives temporarily, but with that damage, Mikey and RR are there to follow up. RR getting stunned, Mikey as well, but these treads are really nice. Like, if they didn't manage to get those, I mean the payload would just be rolling in off of that initial pick on Wreck Cactus.
Yeah, but Whalefish is going to push the cart here because they are on the Tracer, so able to get there very quickly, and now they're going to use the rally to engage. I like this to sustain the people who are on the point. Just beef up for this next fight while your reinforcements are on their way.
Shaftek, though, a nice drop into the backline. Got the leap as well to make it out, but he's bursted so quickly by that bongo from Purple Jesus. RR, though, manages to take it out. And that window Dragon Strike as well. Pusheen taken out. Wreck Cactus coming up huge! No backline available for the Unicorns here. Sick Buckle and Whalefish trying to clutch things out, but Mikey's got a blade of his own. A huge headshot onto Mikey. Purple Jesus as well. Shaftek, he's just got to live here. He's got the primal rage. That's so key. He leaves the objective. No! Oh my god. Wreck Cactus there. Back on the Tracer. Purple Jesus just getting bounced into the spawn of his opponents. I mean, God Risa, but you can't be a god inside their spawn, and he's getting slowly burned down. And it's a massive, massive hold from the Seekers there at the very end.
Holy Shaftek playing with fire there, leaving that point, but able to get back just in time, has that primary health, the high noon doesn't go off and doesn't get that, that beefy target down, allows Kerbology to get back out there with the Tracer, with the Immortality Field as well, just to sustain on point. Now there's no ults to use aside from the Minefield, but you only have window on the other side, so I feel pretty good about the Seekers' chances to hold here and take this map.
Yeah, I mean, Minefield early, and Panda's probably going to build a Nano Boost, which he can just slap onto either tanks or Mikey here at the very end.
Oh no!
The Horse God taken out immediately. Captain as well gone. Nutty are forced out of the mech. The desperation swap to D.Va, knowing that D.Va is the best off-tank character, but it's just not enough. 22 seconds on the clock, and just no dice at all for the Unicorns here.
You got mines out at least, and you have one more touch here because you have the Tracer, so Whalefish will be able to get on the cart with plenty of time to spare. But will the rest of the team be able to back them up? I do not know. Pro-G is looking perhaps to a charge through the bottom, trust that cart, maybe get a pick in the meantime, but there will be a touch. They do nano in here, but the touch is on point. But a big fat anti, though, might stop us right in his tracks. No? PJ with two?
A bit out-tempoed with Shaftek. He engaged the backline, but a little late. Purple Jesus managing to find 2 early picks. Mikey, though, late. So clutch in these late fights, building up another blade. And what a turnaround for the Seekers. Taking a map pick for of the Unicorns.
Yeah, that was, like you said, an excellent turnaround for them because they were facing a 5-minute C time bank there at the end, but just some nicely timed ultimates and nice combos coming out there. And I think Mikey gets 3 shutdowns here because he got the Cassidy High Noon here at the end, got the whole hog as well as the Molten Core. So that is 3 shutdowns with 1 Nano Blade from Mikey coming out there, stopping every counter in its tracks before it even comes out. So, man, I did not know. Mikey was 72% kill participation, came out to play today. Definitely trying a little harder than last game, it seems, to get the dub here against Purple Jesus.
Yeah, I do have to say, I think the tank line of the Seekers really stepped up there. I like, as you said, at the very beginning, you were worried about the Genji. Will Mikey be able to close the distance and really pop off? And it was the Seekers tank line, Wreck Cactus, going so aggressive, just sacrificing himself for the team, and RR as well. Just they got the engages Mikey, so that Mikey could close the distance and get the really nice follow up.
And I did feel bad calling out Shaft Tech there at the end, but I'm gonna say they were doing their job plenty fine because it looked like you're feeding, but at the same time, what are you gonna do into that competition as a Winston player? You're just gonna go in, and I mean, if you have Roar and Mikey as well, if you can eat every single cooldown like they did every single fight, you're doing your thing. It might not look good in the stat sheet, but in terms of how you actually play the game and how it should work, you're doing plenty fine there, sport. I should know a thing or two about how to actually feed, so you're doing it right. That's all I can say. We do a bit of a bio break, but I guess we can talk about it. If you're the Unicorns, this is your map pick here. It's it's match points. So I think you go to 2CP or do you try to get the veto going? Because speaking from scrimming experience, their 2CP, their Volskaya is for lack of a better word, it's kind of putrid. So I want to see him perhaps take us to an escort if it's at all, or a hybrid if at all possible, and especially King's Row if the veto doesn't go through.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if the Seekers give Kings Row to the Unicorns, they should definitely be looking to take that. They've like the dive was close on Numbani, but they fell a step behind on Junkertown, and really, what they've only looked completely uncontested on is that Reinhardt composition. I will say as a shout for Brawl, I mean, you could just go to like Anubis and one trick Ryan comps as well. It's not like as good for Brawl as King's Row, but it's still fine.
I mean, yeah, you can really play the Brawl anywhere you want, but you want to go to King's Row specifically because you can still play the ball comp on there. A lot of teams are doing it now, in the higher elos and everything, because ball is just kind of broken at this point. But in a league like this, Reinhardt still reigns supreme on King's Row, so it stops it because you could, like you said, run that Reinhardt Brawl, but they can on Anubis, but they can also just come at you with a Junkrat, a Wrecking Ball, a Sigma, and you have absolutely nowhere to go except back to your own spawn room. So you'll have to see if we can actually go to King's Row or if we go to 2CP. So I think if I'm the Unicorns and they ask me to go to 2CP, I probably do go Hanamura because I think that's probably the best map to force the Rhine on and the worst map for Ball to execute. As well as, the defense on A plays for that Torbjorn, plays for that Hanzo, that Ashe perhaps. They can use to stop the Shaft Tech on the Winston, stop these dives with the aggressive plays. But who really knows where we're going to go because we're in the middle of a bio break, so nobody's actually saying anything except for Purple Jesus and Roar jawing at each other back and forth. I think we've gone well over the listed amount of bags that you can have in the rule book. I believe it's 3. We've gone well over that. Yeah, I think if the Unicorns, I'm gonna say here, if the Unicorns, it's either gonna be a 3-1 here. I think the Seekers can win 2CP and win the series, but the Unicorns, if it takes us to a map 5 to control, I definitely favor them in a 5-map series because we saw them last week go up against a. I said in the draft, the Bengali Boom are kind of an underrated team. I still believe that. I think that the Unicorns taking them to map 5 and kind of showing them who's boss there, stopping their reverse sweep, definitely had me buy some Unicorns control stonks. So if he has to a map 5, I'll say that the Seekers might be out of luck.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think the Seekers fell on a control map of map 5 in the first week, if I'm not mistaken, but I forgot who they even faced. But I'll look it up on the gopherwatchleague.com. Why don't you say something while I look at that?
Well, I will say, map 5 is guaranteed to be a control map type due to the rule set. So if they lost map 5, they definitely lost on control. And as you said, like, I do kind of favor. It's not only just like the clutch potential of the unicorns, but also just I think they they like having that Reinhardt available, but they can use it to kind of like as a reset point. There's always that one round on control that's so good for Reinhardt, and if they have that in their back pocket, like that's 1 point essentially for free for the unicorns. And also a free momentum reset if the Seekers manage to take round 1, or if the unicorns just like roll RNG roll onto the brawl point first map, right? They can just roll and get that free momentum on map 1, and the Seekers will be quaking in their boots. So
So,
uh,
yes, to confirm, the Seekers did lose on a control of map 5. And it was on Ilios, of all things. You know, Ilios would seem like a map that would benefit the Seekers' comp and play style. And to lose that is not the best omen for them, especially with the Unicorns would... I guess the Seekers would have that pick, so they didn't pick... Oh, no, they did pick Ilios, and they lost it. So who knows what they're going to pick? I definitely don't go to Lijiang Tower, because that's Brawl Central, so... We are waiting to see if the veto comes through or not, or if we go to 2CP. The Seekers that appeared last week did go for the veto and go to Eichenwald, so I'm expecting perhaps a veto here. But if they do, they go to King's Row, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty rough. Because from what I see, the Seekers only lost Ilios, and they also lost both hybrid maps last week. We haven't seen the Seekers on 2CP yet.
I will say, with how much smack they've been talking, like I think the Seekers will definitely be galvanized to like try their hardest. So I could see, even if under normal circumstances they're very chill about the veto, I could see them pulling it in and forcing us to a 2CP map here in this series. Oh,
It appears
that
the veto may be coming through. So, Unicorns pick King's Row, and I think we're seeing them at 5.
I see.
I'm gonna be honest with you, because usually when we scrim, I'm leaking a lot of scrim stuff here, but when we face the Unicorns in scrims, their best map is definitely King's Row. They always take us very close on that map. It's always like 3-2 or 4-3. So I think King's Row is probably the pick here, and I definitely heavily
Wow.
favor the Unicorns brawl on that, because Mikey is forced to play either that Cassidy or that May, which is less of a carry potential than say an Echo on a 2CP.
I see the subtle flex. I see the subtle flex saying their best map is the one they go the closest with you on. I see. I see.
Well, I mean, it's me on Reinhardt, so Purple Jesus stands absolutely zero chance. Absolutely
True.
destroyed. Absolutely rolled in the neutral. I don't know what it is, man. I think I just scare him. I'm just the man does not do well. He blames 70 ping for his
Yeah.
inability to block any shadows to hit any of his own. So it's very 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 sad that he has to go down that low. But I'm not seeing any ping blame coming in here. So maybe Purple Jesus hooked into the internet, hooked in the Ethernet cable to his PC for once. Yeah. Okay. So I guess if I had to take a choice, I guess I'm putting my money down if I was a bet man on the Unicorns winning 3-2 with this veto coming through if they go to King's Row, because I heavily favor the Unicorns in a control style situation where Whalefish can carry on the DPS, or Purple Juice on that Reinhardt can play super aggressive and not have to just fall victim to the God Risa gameplay and sitting in one spot. We're still wondering what map to play. I do not
Very
know.
long bio break.
Yeah, apparently somebody had to do the other version of Bio Break, not just I don't know, just not emptying the canteen. They had to do something else, but I mean, it's a very intense match right now. So you want to get all that waste out you possibly can. You want to be in pristine gaming condition.
Yeah, I mean, servers could be bringing high for some players. I don't think.
That's not correct.
Huh.
I don't understand how teams don't like just read the rule book where plainly states that Veto's to hybrid. I've been asked. I get asked this question about 17 times a year, as well as yeah, okay.
I
Oh, it's
feel
Purple
like
Jesus. Of course, he didn't read. Of course, Purple Jesus didn't read.
I feel like the rule book has been the same around this for all of the seasons of Gopherwatch League. Um, I might be
Um,
wrong. For like season one you could veto.
no, season one.
Um,
Season one we didn't have veto. Season one we did control for map 4. Remember?
no,
Because week one
yeah,
where the
yeah,
goblins won
and then
3.
they changed the rules because someone complained about it. Specifically, certain people complained about it because they lost only on control maps, and then it swapped like the next game. You
I
had
think
to play P.
it took a couple weeks, I think, but eventually I think we
Oh
got rid
yeah.
of any rule regarding 2CP for a while, and then we're like, oh, look at this fun idea. Or I guess at that point I have an admin team, so it was me who came up with a fun idea. Like, oh, what if we could just veto the hybrid? And everybody's like, oh, why can't I veto the Lijiang Tower? Why can't I veto the Dorado? I was like, oh, okay, just read the rulebook. Yeah, whatever. I let it out. I'm pissed off, man. It appears that Roar is also posting the copy pasta in the match chat. My favorite thing is its dreams of finally beating Booty at land. As
I do like the quote of rectangle, 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 rectangle,
the
rectangle.
the quote of just void sounds,
Yeah.
just the wind whispering. All right,
Very high quality copy pasta at that.
and we do have some spots coming in. Speedy coming back in, probably playing that Diva or that Zarya. I think Speedy was having a hell of a series actually. On the 2 maps that she was playing. And Nuttier comes in for pushing, so I think that's going to be some more Lucio gameplay. But I think those are some good spots for this map specifically. Whalefish, of course, can play the Hanzo on this map. We know, King's Row, the Sin Hanzo is kind of legendary on this point, and Whalefish, no slouch in that character either, can play the Widowmaker as well. So I feel pretty confident about Unicorn's ability to take this away. But
You mentioned Hanzo and King's Row.
I did.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could even call it back to the true OG Khan, the Konzo.
I mean, it. You could take Khan to any single map and he'd play Hanzo just because it's like the one thing he actually plays on DPS, and he's a god at it. But the man is not very flexible in his hero pool in the DPS role. I did see the Cassidy for like a map in the alumni game, but other than that, it was most of the Hanzo. But Konzo is absolutely dirty with it. So I mean, I don't even know if the teams are yet because there's just so much spam and copy pastas going on right now. I cannot read.
Commissioner confirmed on not being able to read.
Yeah, I just write the rule book. I don't read it. All right, I'm just gonna ask if teams are to maybe help us along here because
Go seek it. Hitting you with the R literally right before you post. That's crazy.
all right, we're finally going in. Yeah, I guess this is the wrong game to actually implement the map break screen because we're missing out on the trash talk between maps. So we'll go ahead. We'll try to go up to the top here. So let's see.
Leaving it on Rory Horse Girl confirmed.
Yeah, Lijiang Tower was an option if he's a hybrid. Pete Purple Jesus came into effect. Somewhere deep with the Magical Forest as the copy pastas. Some swaps coming in, some swaps more, and then some more trash talk. I'll take a double triple Bossy Deluxe on a raft, 4x4 ammo style, or extra strangles with a shimmy and squeeze, light axe to grease, make it cry, burn it, and let it swim. And some more stuff there. And yeah, it's mostly Roar's going through every single copy pasta he has and posting it. And then we have Rory Horse Girl confirmed, and J-Town Cringe, and He4 Gore. So this match chat, you probably don't actually want to see it now anymore after what you just read, what I narrated to you. And what is oh, okay, Pro Jesus is looking for an easy flame strike, and Mikey's playing the Pharah here, but in a double hit scan, and might be a little rough for him to start out here.
Yeah, I mean, if they really need to, Speedy can swap onto that Pharah as well. So a bit of a risky pick here from Mikey as he's opening up with some spam here, getting some nice damage, but Purple Jesus matching it and building more ult charge, in fact, on his Reinhardt there. So
I also like how you said Speedy can turn to the Pharah at any time. I didn't know Pharah was a tank player, but look at the spam coming in from Mikey, just putting in so much work, but Wreck Hack is losing Mortality Field very early, and Roar goes down. Good start.
Yeah, going for the cleave comp are the unicorn, or not the Seekers here, but Purple Jesus kind of just swung the hammer, and they died.
He has Shatter, by the way. Shavtek has 20%. Shavtek has done 100 damage so far, and Pro Jesus has almost 2k. Just absolutely chatting out in the front line because, oh, never mind, Sigma goes, oh, the big shatter!
Oh, but it's a big shatter. Wreck Cactus taken out as well. Mikey trying to clutch things out with the barrage. Does manage to stay alive off of it. And Panda following up on the damage. Manages to take out Purple Jesus. So now it's ROR Mikey with the Mercy Pocket as well. This is really clutchable for them. They got the carries still in the fight. Vito trying to beam down Mikey. But none of this Pharah damage is being very permanent with the both supports being alive for the side of the unicorns here. Shaftak does manage to take out Speedy. Window invested as well. But Purple Jesus pushing past, just shielding all of that damage so it can't get boosted at all. But it's a massive fire strike from Shaftek. Panda Bro, Mikey combining for 2 more. And it was a bit of a slow take. RR on the ball. They're playing ball Rhine. Very weird, but they managed to make it work.
The classic slam my balls comp. Here with the Wrecking Ball and the Reinhardt. I want to see Speedy swap off. You almost have a grab, but it's not even worth it, I think, at this point. You got to go D.Va. You got to stop this Pharah in its tracks. But I suppose you can look for a Visor to stop that well. And you are going to have the the early hold here at the choke if you push up here. Maybe Shaftek gets a shatter. Never mind, MTD!
Oh my god, it's a 5-man shatter from Shaftek. A rookie showing up massive on the Reinhardt here. Does die for it, but RR manages to trade out Whalefish. Purple Jesus pushing up very aggressively, but again, your main tank dies. ROR is also on main tank. He can just go for a roll through here. Mikey's still got some space to his name, but back in the fight as well, just pinning through choke brazenly. But Window invested High Noon as well. Purple Jesus shielding all the angles. He's spinning in circles. Oh, massive flame strike, a bit cocky from Mikey, maybe. And off of that, I think the unicorns will be able to take this.
That fight was absolute chaos right there. You had Shaftek charging in like an absolute freak of nature, a weirdo, you could say, just running around, spinning in circles by himself past the cart. Got taken out. Mikey swaps off that Pharah onto the Hanzo. A lot better pick, especially for point B here. The Pharah was going to struggle, but Whalefish looking for maybe a flank visor, but doesn't get caught up by the arrow, so he's for free back here. They don't really know he's there.
Graviton Surge onto the tank line here, but Panda Bro has a nice zoning High Noon. Mikey taken out by Sick Buckle, but this High Noon is still up. Purple Jesus, though. He doesn't care that the High Noon charged for a full 5 seconds. He just shatters it anyway.
Yeah, both tank ults for a High Noon and a Window. You'll take that. And Roar swapping over on the D.Va as well. Not a comfort pick for him, so it's looking pretty good here for USSR, especially with this Visor still up ready for him. Pro Jesus building these shatters up super quickly. And I mean, Shaftek has to block one of these here. Did block that last one, but Pro Jesus, no fear, no consideration for anyone at the enemy team. Throwing it down at will. Gets a fat one, wins it for a team. Sick Buckle and Whalefish both have these Visor and the High Noon. Nothing can stop them unless Roar feeds that life away for the mech.
Shaftek so close to that shatter, just needs another swing, and he's got it. Purple Jesus doesn't have that friendly bubble. Lamp invested in his It's a big 3-man shatter from Shaftek, but he does fall to Whalefish's Visor late. Whalefish finding another one onto Panda Bro, and now Speedy and Sick Buckle, they can maybe combine together on the front line for a little bit more. Speedy still living here, got the personal bubble. They're sustaining very well, taking out ROR on the baby D.Va, just bit by bit, finding some picks here, maybe managing to clutch things out, but Shaftek back in the fight. Mikey with the kill onto Viralidane, so no sustain there for Speedy, just completely cut off now by Shaftek, who's just stepped past the Zarya and is shielding, shielding from the other side.
I mean, Speedy's able to contest the cart for so long that basically the entire team is ready to go for this last fight on B, and he also forced out Windows, so I mean, Speedy goes down a hero. The real heroes are the ones that don't make it back, and an absolute great play from her. Has that Graviton Surge as well, but does lose the charge, hoping to build up quickly here for that engage. A nice bubble on a Purple Jesus will do that for her.
Yeah, Yeah, Purple Jesus having the Shatter available. I'm calling now it's going to be massive.
Oh!
And it is. Red Cactus down, Chef Tech as well. Taken out in the man-on-man. RR does have a bomb, so a bit of a zoning maneuver there in favor of the Seekers, but it's not going to be enough as the DPS couldn't manage to take advantage of it in time.
And now here comes a stagger on Aurora as well with 1 minute left in the time bank.
Oh,
What the? And they get Roar and Mechtel again. They don't! Roar just gets out with a pick for free! Okay, a huge play from Roar there because now they're down 2 people. As this fight's going to pop off, Willfish is not there for the visor. Shatter Kid using his Shatter. Here he does!
Massive.
They do a big one. Oh no, go Seek though!
Sick Buckle coming back with a massive engage, a pick onto Go Seek. High Noon invested, but no dice from Panda Bro, as now the lamp is used and Whalefish has still got the visor up. Sick Buckle takes out Red Cactus as well, coming up huge for the side of the Unicorns here. It's not Whalefish we're seeing, it's Sick Buckle on this McCree, just putting up an absolute carry performance.
Yeah, Sick Buckle coming up huge on the Cassidy, looking just like a monster so far. Has the High Noon. They have the window as well. They have Beat here to sustain. I don't even think it can touch her. Purple G is probably going to go hard with the Shatter. And yeah, there it goes. It stops the touch from the Lucio. And a great defense right at the end of B for the USSR Unicorns. And we already got some trash talk coming in. I forgot to update the story. Singapore is up 2-1, so this match point they can hold here. But I don't like their chances if they run that map again. If they run that style. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? That was a great showing from the Unicorns here. Everybody did their part. The Immortality Fields were well placed by Viraldane. The beats on point by Nuttier and DPS popping off. The Sick Buckle and Whalefish show. There really is nothing to say. Speedy makes that swap off that Zarya, and I mean, the Zarya was getting decent value into the Pharah, but swapped to the end there for the final fight. Had the big grabs, and sustained point for a minute basically by herself. Just not really fearing anything. And is Whalefish actually gonna play the Echo here? If they do, Mikey will be mauling. It doesn't look like they are. Whalefish going back to that legs. And for good reason. Sick Buckle, was playing the legs earlier, but the Cassidy has come in pretty clutch for him so far. I want to stick to that. I think we're going to a map 5 here. I feel pretty confident saying that.
Yeah, I will say I would maybe like to see a little bit more out of ROR on the off take. I know it's not his main role, but I mean Shaft Take even is putting up a good performance versus Purple Jesus. Sure, he lets in every shatter, but Purple Jesus also lets in every shatter. So at least they're trading evenly,
It's mutual respect for stat padding on both Ryan's side here. But Bubble was used early here, so now they got to back up early, and they could look to engage here once that speed boost comes back up here. Roar looking for a bit of aggression, but it's not going to pay off.
Yeah, Roar building up that charge very fast though, and as a result, Purple Jesus is dropping so low. That's exactly what you want to see from your Zarya. He's built the energy, now he's pushing up forward. Mikey with a nice off angle, so as the Unicorns kite back, Mikey there with the easy headshots. Another pick onto Sick Buckle late. A nice minute off the clock here for the Seekers defense.
Yeah, that was a really nice play, actually, coming out there from Shaft Tech. Able to stay alive and keep the space for the team. And Purple Jesus going down. Viraldane maybe not having the sightline for the Immortality Field. They're possibly already used it. But Viraldane has a window, so is Red Cactus, and both teams looking to engage that here early. They're going to walk forward, go through the hotel, a nice rotation. But they don't have the Lucio there. Nadia didn't get the message, didn't get the memo.
Yeah, they're just stuck in this tiny jump.
Oh, Shaft Tech!
Pushing through. So risky play from the Reinhardt, but he manages to slink out with his life. Sick Buckle, though, takes out Red Cactus, and with Shaft Tech already being so low, it's going to be so difficult for them to clutch out this fight here. It's a massive grab dragon, but with the shatter from Purple Jesus, there's no one there to follow up on the lamp, and the damage is not able to finish off the players on the Unicorns.
Yeah, that was a lot of ults, so it's 4 ults being invested there. But at the same time, Nuttier building a beat that fast is pretty cool. Red Cactus, although that early pick with the High Noon from Sick Buckle from Cassidy is what able to bring it in, as Red Cactus couldn't use the window, couldn't use the Mortality Field, so really no chance for the defense to hold up here, and Roar also used that grab with the Grab Dragon, so they only have the Shatter to work with, really, and it's got to be big, or this grab from Speedy will be enough to break this chokehold and basically takes to one-fight territory for King's Row to go figure the Unicorns.
Shaftech. Oh, massive shatter window as well for follow-up. Not able to find any eliminations though. So unfortunate. Purple Jesus getting stunned by Panda Bro on that Cassidy, but not able to find any final blows off that massive 2-ult play. Graviton Surge coming out on the other side. The ebb and flow comes back the other way. Ghostik though does manage to have that beat available, and Dragon Strike late from Mikey helps set up for another elimination onto Purple Jesus. They're pushing up, but not really finding that many stagger kills, possibly. Nuttier, oh, getting taken out by Ghostik. Ghostik coming up huge. That captain on the Lucio finding 2 more. Tanks are responding, but I mean, it's just all red in the kill feed.
Yeah, it's all red, and you only use the Dragon Strike there, so pretty good fight from them actually on defense. 3.5 minutes and counting still, so it's very doable here for the USSR Unicorns. They have that visor, they have beat, they'll have window, they'll have shatter, so I don't want to see all Qs being pressed here again. I want to see one nice window flying strike combo coming out, opens right up for him, like a can of tuna perhaps. I don't know what to say anymore. Here comes the visor from Bullfish.
Shaftech knows Purple Jesus has that shatter. He really needs to block this one. High Noon from Panda Bro. Oh, it's a big shatter from Shaftech on the other side, and a block as well! It's an MTD right now in favor of Shaftech here. Purple Jesus getting stuffed in this tiny corner by ROR. That window available as well. A bit of a sandwich play on those staggered players of the Unicorns from the Seekers. Flashbang onto Mikey. That's a really nice late pick, though, as the Shaftech is going maybe a little too deep to chase some kills.
I believe they also lost somebody else there. Yeah, they lost their Cassidy, so they have no DPS here. So now the USSR Unicorns, if they move quickly, can push this point. They're still down Speedy, but you got to go. You're up 5v4. Speedy will be there eventually. You got to push up. Yep, and the retreat horns are sounded. The choke is given up. But I want to point out a really nice flank there from Panda Bro. Able to flash up multiple members of the Unicorns and allow the team to get those kills at the end. So nice play from them on that Cassidy. So you'll have Grab Dragon here yet again. And why are the Unicorns playing so slow? The choke point is still here. They can still fight it here. They're everybody 6v6.
Yeah, RR is going to go for this grab super soon, I'm sure. He's always telling me to ult early, so he'd better ult early. There he goes. Graviton Surge invested Dragon Strike as well. They break the lamp. Mikey with 4. And only 2 minutes left on the clock. The Unicorns, they got to be feeling the heat.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes left in the bank, and they're building up both the support ults as well as the shatter on the side of the Singapore Seekers, so it's definitely very doable here for the defense. Willfish swaps over on the Hanzo. I mean, they still have the Cassidy high noon, they still have the window. They got to use ults here, though. They're holding on to him. Is Shaftech doing a bit of trolling here, though? No, he's not! Doesn't find anything in the shatter, though. Yeah, they find Whalefish.
Sickbuckle is still, like, on this off angle. They're not even taking part
Oh, Ghostik's down! The shatter finds nothing, though. Oh, Sickbuckle, though!
Oh, a flank high noon from Sickbuckle. Graviton Surge onto the front line of the Seekers there. They just gotta die payload, build up ults or whatever. Just get something. If ROR managed to find a late pick, that could have been huge. But now, with 1:10 on the clock, I mean, it's gonna be last fight here, but the
ults are huge.
They have all the space, yeah.
They have the ults and they have the space and they have the ults. I do want to say though, some anti-synergy coming out there as Speedy grabs the enemy team on the other side of the wall that Sickbuckle's looking at high noon. So now they get thing on the high noon, but they do get the fight win here, and now they can put this window down early and basically win a flame strike for a win if they can get a pick. Here comes the window down early. They look for it. They don't get anyone though. The shatter finds nothing.
Really aggressive beat there from Ghostik. Knows he can push past the window with it, but the counter beat of the Unicorns is massive. Graviton Surge invested by RR, and Shaftech! For Shaftech! He's split the pumpkin as well. A little bit of festivities ahead of our Click or Treat tournament. Mikey though does Mikey has a Dragon Strike as well. There's massive ult advantage for the Seekers here. Speedy desperation just rolling in, trying to find a touch. Purple Jesus as well. Window, they managed to push past it, so that's one hurdle. And the Dragon Strike as well. They've gotten past both. Panda Bro though, gonna probably get this high noon kill. Speedy screws it up though. Speedy surviving at the last moments. Purple Jesus
can anyone
touch on the Unicorns. Mikey's going huge. And they can't.
Wow. Yeah, that was a clutch defense there coming from Singapore. I mean, I don't know how that happened. That was incredible from them. The grab dragon combo was good enough in like 2 or 3 fights, but everything else in between was just better. I don't get it.
it was, I mean, Shaftek showing up huge on the Reinhardt. It was just big plays all around for the or not the Seekers there at the very end, and you didn't see the carry performance that you'd want to see from some of the Unicorns players. Like, sure, Purple Jesus played well, but you want him to utterly destroy a player like Shaftek, right? Or Whalefish as well. Didn't manage to find that value he'd been getting just a couple maps earlier in the series.
Yeah, I mean, Sickbuckle definitely stepped today, though. Sickbuckle had a great performance on that legs on that Cassidy, but just wasn't enough. As Panda Bro showed up today as well. Shaft Tech, two new players coming out, had some pretty big plays for their team to take home that victory over the USSR Unicorns. Now, we had to give out an MVP here, and there's a lot of candidates. I mean, Shaft Tech holding their own against Purple Juice on that last map is a bit of recency bias, so perhaps not giving it to them just as of yet. But a lot of good plays from almost everybody in the team. Kerbology has solid support performance as well. I don't really know who I would give it to. I mean, everybody plays pretty well today. Panda Bro consistency. I'll let you talk a little bit on that one while I'm making my mind.
I mean, for me, the person I'm looking at, you're right. Very, like, as you said, there was good plays all around from the Seekers, like Shaftek really stepping up, just changing to the main tank role halfway through the series. ROR switching to the off tank, and they they both really played well on their roles. Um, some really classic ROR ball play on Junkertown. Um, Panda Bro, as you said, very solid, and Go Seek and Kerbology and Cactus in the backline all playing solid as well. But really, the guy who stands on top for me is Mikey, right? Like, everything they did was kind of playing around Mikey as that carry performer. He's got the pocket on Numbani, he gets the clutch bomb at the end, and he gets them a map, right? He gets them their first map, they're on the board, the momentum swings back into their favor. Junkertown, their entire composition was built around Mikey playing Genji and just killing everything. Like, they would hard engage, tanks would take everything, and then Mikey would need to kill. A lesser Genji just wouldn't have killed them, and then they would have that the comp would have been garbage. And on the last map, Mikey, he really stepping up, showing Whalefish that Mikey is in fact the better Hanzo player possibly, and you know playing solid to the very end, getting some clutch grab dragon kills and stuff in coordination with ROR. So I don't know. I'm looking at Mikey here, but let me know what you're thinking.
I mean, it's very hard. Everybody kind of there's no real like even to me there's no like standout performer today. Everybody did their job
Yeah.
perfectly. So yeah, I guess we'll give it to another DPS player because why not? They haven't got enough, so we'll give it to Mikey. There's nobody in their chat anymore though for an MVP interview, so that'll be it for us actually. So yeah, you can go ahead and send us out. That's gonna be it. The next stream game we don't actually have one yet because everybody's been done
Yeah,
this week. So week two's in the books. On to week 3.
yeah. No, I mean, this was a super hype game. I had a lot of fun casting it with you, Booney. Yeah, thanks for watching, ladies and gents in the chat, and we'll see you next time.